All right, what's going on, guys? So today I'm gonna go ahead and give you 4 exercises with the Medball for rotational power, and also with core anti-rotation and also rotational strength from the trunk area. So I'm gonna give you 2 Medball variations that you can regress and progress going further once you develop more overall coordination and athleticism. And then we're gonna go ahead, go down to the floor, and I'm gonna show you some anti-rotation techniques that you can do to enhance your trunk strength and your rotational power going further. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so check it out. The first one that we're gonna do is a Medball scoop toss. Now, we're gonna go with the regression of that scoop toss. So first one we're gonna do is just standing still with our feet squared up. You can use, for males, you're looking at a 10-pound ball. For females, maybe a 6-pound ball. We wanna make sure that we have maximal velocity into the wall with that ball being thrown, but also we wanna have a little bit of weight to it because we wanna produce force from the initial throw. So first one we're gonna do is just a standstill, right? And all we're gonna do here is you're gonna tuck the chin down, we're gonna keep it at our hip, and as I go to rotate to the side of my hip, I'm gonna go ahead and hinge my hips back. So I hinge my hips back, and then I'm gonna go ahead and produce force with hip extension, and then I'm gonna let that ball go with my underhand position. So I come down, boom, and then throw through. As I come up and out, I'm driving my hip forward and I'm squeezing my glute there. So on the same side where the ball is being thrown is where I'm gonna drive my hip forward. Again, you're gonna get that extension, boom, through your hips, and that ball is gonna come out into the front side. Here we go. So come down, squeezing the glute, right? Think about a kettlebell swing when you go to throw the ball. So I hinge, kettlebell swing, shoot the hips, right? Let that ball go, ballistic fashion, there's no deceleration. Down, okay, other side, same thing. Drop down. From the hip. Again, you want that counter movement. So again, I want to see you have that stretch reflex. So I get into the hinge position and then I get out of position. So here, hinge position, boom, and then drive through, okay? That is the regression version. So that's start of, I would say, the level 1, right? Now we're gonna go into level 2, where we're gonna do a little bit more dynamic movement. Now this is getting closer to a fight. Again, if I were to set this up, this is gonna be more set along the lines of when we first start camp or outside of camp, to just get the movement down, just get that power production. Then from there, I'm gonna go ahead and transition into those more dynamic movements that are gonna have more correlation over to the sport. So with this one, now I'm gonna do a hop step where I'm actually just gonna act like I'm chasing them, or either around the cage or around the ring, where I'm gonna go ahead and step my foot off. I hit a hop step there. So it's a shuffle step, you would say. Shuffle step and then hinge through. Shuffle step, boom, throw through. All right, do it again. All right, the goal, again, when you do the shuffle step, is we wanna push off and then replace. So I'm push off, replace, and then when I do that, I don't wanna click my heels together across my feet. So other side, I push off, boom. All right. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and do the regression version of the overhead cross or rotational overhead throw. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a half kneeling position here. My back foot is stuck into the ground, so my toes are up. They're not down like this. I wanna create stability here, especially in my pelvis. So I'm gonna make sure that my knee doesn't cave out like that. I'm gonna make sure it doesn't fall in either. So I wanna stay nice and aligned, hip, knee, and foot, all in that same neutral line. All right, from there, I'm gonna go ahead and hinge back, or I should say rotate back. And then from there, I'm gonna shoot the ball forward, just like if I were throwing my backhand. So elbows are in, I'm gonna rotate, basically wind my body up, and then boom, punch it through, okay? Go again. Wind up. And I wanna wind up to the end range as far as I can, so I can get a good stretch reflex at the end. And as I throw, again, I want to protract my shoulder or pull that shoulder as far forward as possible. As I go to throw also, I'm turning my other shoulder, so I'm getting some reciprocation just like we're running. And this is why that knee's up, because I want to close that angle down, right? So I am using my shoulder on the backside and my lat to pull as I push, all right? But we're gonna blade ourselves. Obviously I'm southpaw, so my left leg is gonna be back. Again, when you're doing this, hit both sides. So if you're orthodox, still hit a southpaw stance. If you're southpaw, still hit an orthodox stance, so you can get that rotation component. It's not so much from like a punching standpoint. We wanna make sure that we're enhancing the muscles to allow for that movement to occur more efficiently. So again, you wanna work both sides evenly, right? So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna start off with a southpaw stance, then I'll go to the orthodox, but I'm gonna stand here, bladed, right? And then from there, I'm just gonna go ahead and hit a step back. So it's a step back too, right? So I'm gonna lean. As I lean, I'm gonna just snap back, right? So it's here, I come back, boom, boom, and throw through. So again, it's just more of a, if you were to throw your jab, boom, you step back and throw your two, right? Subtle movement, but again, very efficient. And again, we wanna be as reactive as possible on that backside, working on that stretch reflex from the ground up, okay? So we're here, we're moving, hit step back, boom, boom, and throw through, okay? So again, this would be more of a counter strike. Say if somebody's throwing their jab, right? You wanna step back and then land your two there. Again, a little bit more sport specific, but like I said, the goal is to enhance rotational power. All right, so now what we're gonna do is more of an anti-rotation, but also hitting that oblique sling. So we're gonna do a side lying position where it is gonna be more of a compression reaction. So what I'm basically stating is that I'm gonna drive this leg into the ground, right? So I'm gonna use my adductors to stabilize my body. I'm gonna use this shoulder and serratus to stay upright. And then also my obliques are gonna have to stay on too as well, along with my transverse abdominals through that rotational plane. This is anti-rotation. We're gonna drive the bottom knee up into the chest area. Now I'm gonna come back and forth, and that's gonna be our reps. But again, we're maintaining stability through the outer extremities, right? So I'm working on isolating this knee and this hip and working on flexion extension, right? In a side lying position, but that lateral chain and oblique sling are always staying on tension. So here it goes. We got the arm planted, right? And you're gonna get up tall. We're not gonna be here. We're gonna make sure we're staying upright and postured high. From here, I'm gonna take my hand just to get it up so I can have more posture in my thoracic. Then this leg obviously is planted, so my quad is on here, my adductors are stabilizing my body, and then I'm just gonna drive my knee up. Okay, so the next one is a rotational reach. Now we're gonna be working that reciprocation. We're gonna be working through that transverse plane. I'm gonna be trying to rotate my body, my upper body. So again, stabilizing my pelvis with my feet on the wall here, right? And I'm actually going to drive my abs. My abs are gonna be on as I'm in this position. Now from there, I'm gonna rotate and reach. So wanna make sure I'm planted here. I'm grabbing the wall with my feet. I got 3 points of contact on that wall. I'm coming down into a 45 or as close to it as I can. Knee slightly bent, so if you have to move forward, you can. Knee slightly bent here. And then I'm rotating and reaching. We're blowing out. We're exhale on every one. So I'm pulling and reaching. All right, guys, so there you have it. You have 4 total exercises. You have 2 regressions to the Medball variations. Again, when you're talking about sets and reps, for the Medball, you wanna stick between 3 to 5 repetitions, or roughly around 3 to 5 sets of each side, right? So if you're doing one side or the other, make sure that you're getting both sides evenly. For the core work, right, for the rotational work and the anti-rotation, the Copenhagen reach, all that stuff. 3 sets, 10 repetitions, right, on each side, 10 reaches on each side too as well, 3 to 4 sets there. You can do this in the beginning of your workout, or you can do it as a finisher. With the Medball stuff, again, that really depends on where you're at in camp. If you want to learn more about that and how I program, if you are a coach and you're learning, go ahead and check out my mentorship program. I go over all details in that particular course, where you can find that down in the link in the description. If you want to train some of these movements, I have it in heavy hitter and I also have it in fight ready. So those are my 2 programs for boxing and MMA. Go check them out. Link is down in the description as well. Or you can go to my website, darustrong.com, find out more details on getting that, okay? If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more like this, let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification. I'll see you again next time. Peace.